Now, it is home to just over 1.5 million people, and it is rapidly becoming uninhabitable. This is Gaza, according to a new report by the United Nations after more than 6 years under blockade. And as the humanitarian crisis grows, even its leaders, Hamas, are seeing their popularity wane. Despite peace talks brokered by the United States, few people in Gaza see any chance of a breakthrough, as our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Miller found out.
Entering Gaza from Israel is like walking into a prison. The territory is completely walled in, cameras everywhere, drones and warplanes ply the skies above, and there's a total naval blockade. In this, the 7th year of the Israeli siege, 1.7 million people remain crammed into a sliver of land. To the south, the Egyptians have destroyed the tunnels that offered a lifeline to Gaza, claiming Hamas, the Islamist party that rules here, was smuggling guns to Egyptian jihadis. Hamas is under pressure as never before. Its illicit tax income has been slashed with the loss of the tunnels, so you'd have thought they might be willing to sit down and talk. Not so.
In Gaza, they crave peace and security as much as anyone anywhere. So there's a terrible irony to what's going on here. This is a protest against the latest US-brokered peace plan. And while that plan is being drawn up on the West Bank and Jerusalem, both just an hour up the road, the people of Gaza are left feeling isolated, forgotten, and unincluded.
The green flags of Hamas meld with the black of Islamic Jihad. They both oppose Fatah, the Palestinian faction that runs the West Bank. It's a mess. The marchers chant, "Death to America." The speakers rail against US Secretary of State John Kerry's peace plan. America sends bombs and guns to the Zionists, and the Zionists use them to kill us, they said. Hamas concedes its popularity has waned as the screws have tightened. But they still want no part in Kerry's peace plan.
I believe 100% he will fail. We don't believe that Israel is interested in peace. Because according to our experience, and the experience of negotiation of the President Arafat and the President Abbas, till now we got big zero from Israel. Nothing. Really nothing.
Hamas has been forced by dire circumstance to patch up a long-running feud with Fatah, its rival. A Fatah delegation has arrived from the West Bank with an olive branch. They disagree with Hamas over Kerry's peace plan, but there is common ground. Fatah also suspects his peace talks are doomed.
Oh, lovely, I love this place. If it continues like this, it is doomed, but you never know. I think the problem is the Israelis. His problem is with Mr. Netanyahu and his government. We are not his problem. And if he fails, they remain the conquerors, they remain the occupiers, they remain the settlement builders, the water stealers and robbers of our land, and we remain under occupation.
And so Gaza languishes, neglected, in a region in tumult, and the outlook is bleak. Produce not grown here has to come in from Israel, selling at prices the poor can't afford. Half the population is unemployed. Wages have crashed.
We truly feel imprisoned. I mean, this actually also deteriorates the psychological situation in Gaza. I mean, increasing, you know, pressure, increasing the stress. I mean, people are truly stressed.
In the claustrophobic back alleys of a tumble-down refugee camp, families are running on empty.
Assalamu alaikum.
Meet the Dolas, 8 of them. 3 generations under one leaky roof. Mohammed, the father, jobless for more than a decade. This is his eldest son. His name's Arab, Gaza's former kung fu king. He was the family's sole breadwinner until he severed his spine in a building site accident 10 months ago. His vertebrae crushed like his dreams.
المستقبل ضايع.
My future is lost.
المستقبل حيكون ضايع طبعا.
The accident happened shortly after I got married, and it was only then that I learned that my wife was pregnant.
بعد جيزة فترة قصيرة
If I had known this was going to happen,
وطلع كانت
I would never have got
حامل
married.
وضعت.
But this is God's will. The
يعني
future is
الباطل هذا
lost.
اللي يصير فيي كان ما اتجوزتش.
Their baby, Asil, was born premature in December. Her name means soft, like the sun's rays at sunset. Arab told me he'd decided to divorce his shy 22-year-old Dahlia so that she could be free. She refused. She loves me, he said, and that, it seems, has rekindled hope in his heart.
أنا بحلم إن
When I dream that I'm walking and that I'm strong, walking and running and moving. And because of these dreams, I believe I will one day be able to walk and run and play again.
يعني فيش مشاكل بالحلم يعني بشوف حالي أنا.
But for now, Gaza's quadriplegic Bruce Lee lies rasping for breath, a metaphor for his crippled, unrecognized nation.
This is my bedroom.
The Dolas live in a rat-infested world where everything is broken. Power is intermittent. It's a torchlit tour from Yusra, the mother. And as to the tap water,
The water is very bad. Welcome.
Oh, it's really salty. Really salty. Wow, that's undrinkable.
صحيح احنا ما بنشربش منها لانها غير صالحة للشرب.
You know, the trouble for a family like this is that unless they can afford to buy bottled water, this is all they can drink, and that is really horrible.
صحيح هي فظيعة كثير.
it tastes like seawater because it pretty much is. The aquifer underneath Gaza is irreparably damaged. Even the calm of the sea itself is deceptive. There will be gunboats out there on the horizon. The serenity of the sun's rays at sunset belie a fundamental disquiet. Jonathan Miller, Channel 4 News, Gaza.